What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 9 of NHL 23 Edmonton Oilers Franchise Mode Series. As always, guys, thanks so much for support on these videos. If you wouldn't mind leaving that thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. Now, we're currently 3-3 in the preseason. Michael Misa there, actually, our leading scorer, 7 points in 6 games. So, team's looking a little bit different since last year, but still very solid. We got Draisaitl, McDavid, Misa now as the first line, getting a +5. So, our 3 best players, hopefully, they can tear up the league together. Second line there, you got Evangelista playing with Fudi and Yamamoto. Yamamoto's actually ranked an A now since we lost Nuge. Fudi here we trade for, only making $3.3 million in 86 overall, a very good contract. Third line there, you got Nick Robertson, Dylan Holloway, Ilya Mikheyev. Fourth line, you got Kate, Koppinen, and Voros. Voros and Koppinen, both medium league players, so we'll see how they grow. In terms of the defense here, we brought in 2 stud free agent defensemen, Edmonton and Sanderson, both immediately plugged into our top pair. They're also getting a +5 chem boost, which is awesome, so basically playing like 295s out there. Sandin Pelika, Riley's on the second pairing, get a +2. And we then have the Swedish duo Brodin and Broberg on the bottom pairing, which is also very solid. I think this is probably the best defense we've ever had. Obviously, offense, probably lacking a little bit of depth, but that insane defense, playing in front of Carter Hart, 89 overall. We should have the lowest goals against in the league. And in regards to special teams, guys, I'm actually trying something new here with Power Play 1. We're going all forwards because I think our 5 forwards are just kind of our best offensive players. Looks pretty stacked to me. Then Power Play 2, actually, also going kind of the opposite direction. We got 3 defensemen there, Sandin Pelika, Riley, and Evanson, playing with Fudi and Holloway. So we'll see how that works out. 4-man Power Play 1, of course, still stacked. I think I've actually got Riley on both 4-man Power Plays just because every other defenseman was giving really bad chemistry. Even the second unit still gets a -1. In terms of the PK, that first unit looks really good. Voros here, only I showed you guys, but his stats are insane. 5-star defense, 92 D awareness, 94 shot block, and stick check. 5-star physical there with 99 strength. This dude should be the ultimate PKer. Then looking at PK2 here, we actually got a little Leafs duo with Mikheyev and Robertson. PK3 there, Holloway and Cates. I think in terms of the special teams, we should be fine. Even the 3-man PK1 gets a +3 there. So overall, this team, should be solid. In regards to the AHL team, they're also looking pretty good. They're bringing back the first line there we've had for the past few seasons. Enduro 5, Simino, and Gurianov. Second line there, you got Gordon, Svechkov, Howard getting a +2. Coleman there playing with Manning and Ebbett. Ebbett had a good last season. Manning there's got 99 passing. Coleman here is also a solid player, 90 passing, decent shot. Elliott, Millette, and Calvert on the fourth line. Defensively here, Iverson, Janula, Volkov, Altschaller, McLennan, Stoner. The bottom D pair, I just can't get rid of the -3, so I think we're just going to have to leave it because even if I sign guys, it might not change anything. Goalie-wise, Sanders starting, Daigle there backing him up. So, again, looking at these two teams, I'm pretty optimistic. They should at least make the playoffs, if not, make some championship runs. And real quick, guys, I want to thank the VHL for sponsoring today's video. The Victory Hockey League is an online forum-based league where you can pick your very own player, picking their height, weight, where they're from, everything you'd expect. From there, both you and your player entered into a diverse creative community where you can earn weekly experience points by writing articles with the league or your player, creating graphics, making videos, recording podcasts. And if that sounds like a lot of time, I'm sure, some of you don't have that. You can also just earn weekly points by the simple click of a button. All that goes towards making your player the greatest they can be. And now, similar to Be a Pro, your player starts out in the minors, working their way through the European League before eventually making their VHL debut. And you get to manage your player during every step, whether it be negotiating a new contract, requesting trades, or even testing free agency. The destiny of your player is at your fingertips. And after daily simulations, you can actually look at the statistics from each game to see where your player is both weak and strong, and use experience points to help grow your player's different abilities. And who knows, if you're good enough, you might even make it to the Hall of Fame. And even if you guys aren't the biggest hockey fan, which if you're watching my videos, you probably are, the Victory Hockey League is a great community to join. They got an active website and Discord server, so you can become part of something that's fun, engaging, and worthwhile. If you want to, too, you can check out VHL on Instagram at Victory Hockey League, as well as their Twitter at VHL Sim. And don't forget to sign up today at VHLforum.com. Again, guys, to sign up, VHLforum.com. Go check them out. As mentioned to you guys, with losing Nuge, Yamamoto's now one of the alternates. I do think, if we can, I might try and steal Nuge back at the deadline at 50% or whatever. And speaking of Nuge, guys, I wanted to show you this here. He's now got the all-time season record for the Oilers with 19, so one shy of 20. If we bring him back, I think he'll hit 20. He's also got the most games played there, although Draisaitl's only about 150 back. McDavid actually has the most goals. I think, too, Carter Hart just set the goalie win record there with 43 last season, which is pretty cool, I think. In terms of rookie records, Skinner actually set the most wins and shutouts. And in terms of game, probably never going to touch Gretzky in any of those. But before I show you guys the rating, I actually want to look at some of the contract extensions we could make. So Broberg is making 4.75. He's going to want 6. He's playing bottom pair. We can probably wait. Fudi wants 7.8. We're paying him 3.3. We can just not afford that. Riley, because it's a 1 year, we can't make an offer on. Same with Brodin. Mikheyev, I think, is the exact same situation. Now, our 2 medium leads, guys, we might as well get them under contract. If we can get $1 million, 2-year deal, obviously we only need them for 1 more year, but that's going to be awesome, especially if they do grow. We'll try Koppinen here at 1.4 or something. Now, the one big issue for next year is the fact Carter Hart's on an expiring deal. Was making 6.7. He's going to want 10. I mean, I don't really like paying goalies that much, or there could get better. The AHL goalie could get better. There's also often like, 84, 85s that are available in free agency for like $1 million. So definitely worth it to risk it and wait. Now, as you guys can see here in terms of ratings for this season, we got 99 offense, 92 defense, and 88 goaltending. So we'll see whether or not that's good enough to win our second Stanley Cup. Also going to spend the next few days to hear back from those two medium elite guys, see whether or not they say yes to the contracts. I feel like they should. Like, they're basically what they're asking for. Misa ended up putting up a point per game in the preseason. Voros does say yes. Same with Koppin. Okay, so luckily, even if those guys go to like a 90, we got them very, very cheap for the last year. All right, guys, we're at the end of December now with a record of 29-7, which is pretty solid, although we have been starting to lose a bit more games here in December. Currently second there in the division behind the Kings. Take a look here. Leading scorer, Michael Misa over McDavid, 42-36. AHL-wise, Chad Gordon, 33-28. Okay, so surprising name. And the AHL team there is first in their division. So both teams are playing well. Hopefully we can keep this up towards the deadline. And obviously, like I mentioned, we'd like to bring Nuge back and maybe even make another big splash and bring in a superstar. All right, guys, with the deadline now with a record of 38-15-9, continuing to crush it. We're actually first in the division now. Predators, though, first in the NHL there, 92 points. They're just playing outstanding. AHL-wise, 38-9-5. They're also first in the division. So both teams are killing it. Gordon there still leading the AHL team in scoring. Draisaitl actually in the NHL now has 82 points in 62 games. So I think that first line there, McDavid, Misa, Draisaitl, clearly is popping off. We're definitely a buyer here. 2 years left to go. We're trying to win one more Stanley Cup. Hopefully we can get it done. So we'll see who the top players are available on the block. Dylan Guenther there, 1 year left, $10 million. He, of course, played for the Edmonton Oilers Kings. That'd be kind of cool. Simon Nemec, Jesper Bratt, Robert Thomas, Logan Cooley, Eriksson Ek, Aho, Connor Geekie, Pelche, Timo Meier. Definitely some options here for sure. One thing I always like to do as well is just kind of take a look and see how our goalies are playing, because Hart wants that big money. Is he actually kind of living up to that price? Let's see here. He's got a 9.15 and a 2.64 so far through the season, which I think, is pretty solid for sure. As well, too, I actually noticed McDavid's now down to a 96. So he started the year at 98. Obviously, he's 34, though. He's getting up there in age. Draisaitl as well, down to a 93. Hopefully, these two guys can at least last one more year before they retire. And honestly, guys, the player I'm looking at right now is Robert Thomas, 31 years old, 90 overall, 1 year left on an $8.3 million deal. And the big reason, honestly, is the fact that for a 90 overall player, his value's really not that crazy because he's on an expiring deal. And you can see there he's got 99 passing, so he's going to help us produce offensively. He's also got solid defensive stats with 86 faceoffs. We could actually use like a better faceoff taker on the PK. Right now, Robertson and Holloway are both there. They got like 66 faceoffs each. So we can bring in Thomas here at 50%. For the right price, I think it's definitely worth it. He'll play power play, he'll play PK. Probably second line center over Foodie. We move Foodie down to the third line. That actually just gives us a lot more depth. And I just mentioned their names. Holloway here, I don't plan on trading. $2 million there for 2 more years. Robertson, though, I was looking at his stats. Only 12 points on the year. Holloway at least has 28. So Robertson they want. We're definitely have to give up some big pieces with this. Boys, 80 overall, medium elite. What? We just drafted this guy 3rd round. He's a grinder. 81 D awareness there, 92 shot block, stick check. We bring him on the 4th line next year, 95 passing. He's already an 80. That's insane. You can see he's tearing up the OHL, basically averaging like 2 points a game, almost a goal a game as well. This guy's insane. Machek there, 55 medium elite. I mean, I'd be willing to part with him just because we have that boys guy to get Robert Thomas. Actually, at that point, we're giving up like way too much value. Maybe instead we just do like a 1st round pick because like this pick's never really going to help us anyways. We got a couple seconds there, 3/4. All right, guys, and now next year I'm actually trying to get Andrew Kopp from the Calgary Flames, making $5.7 million for 1 more year. He's only a 77. Basically, St. Louis would be under the salary cap minimum, so we have to get a player to send over salary. I'll offer them Albrecht here, 21.64. That's probably, honestly, more than fair value because Kopp's literally salary dump. I honestly probably could have gotten them to like give us a pick, but whatever. So here's my offer, guys. Andrew Kopp, Nick Robertson, a 1st round pick for Robert Thomas and Oli Mata. Adding Kopp to this trade as well, we no longer have to retain 50% on Thomas, which should just make it, easier to trade for him. Value's pretty equal. See what the Blues say to this. Trade rejected. Value table's too far off. Okay, so we definitely can add like some player they want. I'm thinking Burnett here, 21 years old, still not even a 60. Medium top 6. We got him in the 5th round. If he can get the trade to go through, it's worth it for sure. Still rejected. Sweeten the value just a touch. Who's like our lowest value scare they want? I would like to keep our picks just in case. I mean, we got 3 4th round picks in this year's draft. Let's bet on ourselves. We'll add a 4th round pick here. Kopp, Robertson, 1st, 4th, and Burnett for Thomas and Mata. There we go, trades going through. So again, that gives us exactly what we need, which is a guy who can play power play and PK and give us more depth down the middle. And so the trade deadline is now complete, guys. I was actually trying to make one more trade for Logan Cooley. Unfortunately, just couldn't get to work salary cap wise. I'm thinking we probably should have just made St. Louis retain 50% on Thomas because than it might have, but that's all right. Sometimes, too many trades not a good thing. Looks just like a bunch of picks being moved. Alexiak there, the Vegas Golden Knights. Nicholas Bowden with the Flyers. Siegenthaler to the Golden Knights. Of course, our trade for Robert Thomas. Thomas Harley there to the Golden Knights. Jesper Bratt to the LA Kings, that's pretty big. Shea Theodore to the Islanders. For Brad Lambert, that's a big-time trade. Really nothing else too crazy. Ty Smith to the Bruins. Peterson to the Flames. Konechny to the Kings. So the Kings kind of loading up there. I feel like our trade probably for Thomas, one of the bigger ones. Just for Brad, of course, the Kings as well. Alright guys, so after the trade deadline, here's an update look at the team. Like I mentioned before, I feel like that trade for Thomas is definitely going to help us out. A lot more depth down the middle, plus our PK is going to be better. First line, though, not being touched. They've been going off this year, not changing it. Second line looks a lot nicer now. Yamamoto, Thomas, and Evangelista. Like, that top six as a whole is just so nasty. Third line even, Holloway, Fudi, Mikheyev isn't bad at all. Fourth line there, no change, although Voros, Koppanen, both 82s. Defensively is the same. In terms of the power play, we've actually got Robert Thomas on that first unit. Second unit here, Yamamoto, I think, taking over for Edmondson. I've also got Thomas on the second 4-man, and then I think he's playing the first PK and the first 3-man PK. So, like I mentioned, he's good in the face-off circle, plays two-way hockey, he'll help us out. Now, we did kind of get screwed in this trade one way, and that's that for some reason the assistant coach called up Gurianov. Like, we already had 12 forwards after the trade, so I don't really understand what the game was thinking in doing that, and we're not allowed to send him down. As you guys can see, it says we'll be over the salary cap, even though we're sending a guy down. I don't understand that one either. So basically, we're stuck in the NHL until we get to the playoffs, then we can sign down the AHL to help them out on their playoff run, but I mean, a lot of people have this issue too, just makes no sense to me. And so we just finished the season, guys, with a record of 52, 20, and 10, so a very good year. 114 points in total. Unfortunately, the Preds there, 120. Even the Stars, 115. Do beat us out for the President's Trophy. AHL-wise, one shy of 50 wins. Actually, they have a game left, though, so maybe they'll hit that. They currently have 103, which would be good for the AHL League title. Gordon there, just about a point per game. McDavid, actually, it was Misa, then Draisaitl, now McDavid finishes our scoring leader, 109 points, 82 games. As I mentioned, that top line obviously absolutely went off this season. I mean, look at that. All three guys 100-plus points. Misa 105, Draisaitl 103. Evangelista there, basically a point per game. And again, he's making like no money. We got him locked up for $3.2 million for another year still. Robert Thomas there at 73. We got to see how he did with us, though. 28 points in 19 games. Are you kidding me? Wow. So it popped off with our team. Played much better with us than the Blues. Yamamoto there, 61, isn't bad at all. Fudi was 50 right on. Same with Sandin Pellikka. This actually might be his best year yet. And he wasn't even playing top power play. Yeah, that's the first time he's put up 50 points. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Maybe he'll actually grow a bit. Riley there was just one shy. Edmondson was close as well. Sanderson 40. I mean, you got 4 D-man putting up 40-plus points with like that top line we have. It's clear why this team was so successful. In terms of the goaltending, Carter Hart there, 918 save percentage, 2.58 goals against. Very solid stats. Or stats a little bit concerning if you were to make him the starter next year if we don't re-sign Carter Hart. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. In the AHL here, Sanders 908, 2.45, not too bad. You got Gordon there, Svechnikov 69, nice. Simoneau 67, Durafaya 57. These guys have slowed down a little bit. Howard, Manning there, 37 assists. He of course, is the guy with like 99 passing. So, I mean, overall, both teams really cannot complain. Take a look here, guys, and see the entire league. McDavid wins the Art Ross Trophy. Let's go. Misa actually finishes as number 2. Stankoven at 3. Barkov, Draisaitl 5. So we had 3 of the top 5 dudes. 3 of the 5 guys that had 100-plus points. Pretty crazy. Now, Maurice Richard Trophy looks like it's going to Kaprizov. And it does. Matthews there at 2. So we did not win that, but still, I mean, can't complain with the amount of points we put up. Defensive scoring, Zach Werenski there leads the league with 83. Very impressive. Goaltending stats there. Vinny, 48 wins. Just beat out Hart by 1. Save percentage for a starter, Wallstat 918. Hart was actually tied with them. He's got 4 more wins. And then goals against here for a starter is Carter Hart. So he's got a very good chance to take home another Vezina Trophy. I believe that'd be his 3rd. In terms of rookie scares, we had a couple. They didn't really pop off, though. This Mario Dumont guy in Seattle put up 51 points. So he's probably going to win the Calder, although I just realized it's a pretty weak class because Koppanen there, our guy, was actually 6th scoring leader for rookies with only 26 points. Definitely not like the rookie classes the first 3-4 years, but you got multiple guys popping off. Now in the entire league here, let's see. Nashville still has a couple games left to play, but we finished 3rd there at 114 points. Just looking to see if anyone gets screwed. Not really. Last place in the NHL. The Pittsburgh Penguins, 52. Played absolutely terribly. Dallas Stars there, most goals 4. 3 more than us, actually. And then goals against here. Minnesota Wild, 222. Okay, so we're not taking home the William Jennings, so I thought we honestly would have, looking at our defense and goaltending to start the season, but we still did have the 3rd best in the league. So next year, guys, as I mentioned, we'd like to see if the AHL team can hit that 50-win mark. And then, of course, we'll see who we play round 1 of the playoffs. And the AHL team lost the final game, so they do finish with 49. And we're playing the Sharks here, round 1. All right, guys, look at the Sharks lineup here. They got Adam Banak playing on the first line with Carlson, Bertuzzi. They got Vasanov there, Alex Zetterberg, Eklund. So I just noticed they got a bunch of the top Swedish prospects. Eklund, of course, 7th overall 2021. Zetterberg's a top pick 2024. They took him 5th. Carlson, of course, top pick 2023. They also took him 5th, so kind of funny how that worked out. Even the Silverberg guy on 3rd line center looks pretty good. 4th line, they still got Bordelot there. Defensively, Nurse is on their team, down to 81 at 36. Muka Moldin, Dragicevic, Chikrin, former player of ours, Bishel, Jacki. The D is pretty weak. Goaltending, they got 91 Spencer Knight, though. 83 Dawes backing him up. So they got a good goalie. They got solid top 6. Hopefully, though, like our top line can kind of find a way to score on that defense. So we'll get started here, guys. First 2 games are at home. Let's see what happens here. 3-2 OT lost game 1. Unfortunately, we lost, but at least it was a close game. Game 2 is a 5-4 OT win. So yeah, very close game so far. We head to San Jose and unfortunately lose the next 2. 5-3 and 3-2. We're down 3-1. Head home to Edmonton here. And we lose game 5 1-0. What the heck? Our team so much better on paper. I just don't understand it. Evangelista led the team in scoring there. 4 goals, 5 games. Are you telling me McDavid had less than 4 points in the playoffs? Draisaitl also had 4. McDavid had 3. Misa only had 3 as well. What the heck? Carter Hart's stats really weren't that bad. We just got no scoring. So obviously, guys, that's quite disappointing. I don't understand, how our team has such a tough time in the playoffs. It seems like to happen every single series. Like, just no luck. And even the AHL team there, they lose in the first round in 7. And check this out, guys. Playoffs are now complete. The Montreal Canadiens there win back-to-back Stanley Cups. I got to say, too, guys, really appreciated all your suggestions in the comments in the last video. I just got back from Montreal yesterday, actually. Really enjoyed my time. I had the best poutine of my life at both La Banquise as well as Mapul Mouli. Hopefully I said those right. I also had, the best Montreal smoked meat sandwich of my life at Swartz Deli. So, tons of good food. Plus, I went to, the Biodome Planetarium, Habs game, although they didn't score a goal for me, which really sucked. But really enjoyed it. So, again, thank you guys for those. A lot of results are now in. St. Louis there, picking 1st overall. After trading us Robert Thomas, I mean, at least that worked out for them. Calgary there actually picking number 2. We'll see here what the awards look like. Again, I think we really got screwed there round 1. And look at the playoff tree. You can see the Canadiens beat the Panthers in 5, Bruins in 5, swept the Leafs, and then beat the Sharks in 5. Wow, so a very dominant playoff run. I'm surprised the Sharks made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final as well. And as I mentioned before, guys, Montreal Canadiens here, back-to-back Stanley Cups. I still can't believe we've only won 1 cup so far this series. This team deserves a lot more than that. McDavid there, his 8th Art Ross trophy, I believe that is. He also gets his 4th or 5th Hart trophy. It's tough to keep track of them all. It'd be cool actually if each player had a award tracker similar to the coaches. Werenski there, James Norris trophy. Jack Hughes, Lady Bing. That rookie on the Sharks there won the Calder. Basha there on the Montreal Canadiens gets the Conn Smythe. Carter Hart does get his 3rd Vezina, so that's pretty awesome. Maybe we'll have to keep him, even though he's asking for a lot. Wallstedt there, William Jennings. Brock Faber there with the Canucks, Bill Masterton. Philly coach Jack Adams. Zegras Selke trophy. Interesting. Zegras, I never really thought was a defensive guy. McDavid got Ted Lindsay there as well. And then, of course, Jason Robertson, Maurice Richard. Now, in terms of the AHL awards, we not win the Calder Cup. We got knocked out first round after winning the regular season for back-to-back years. No Calder Cup to show for that. What the heck? It absolutely makes no sense to me. But what are you going to do? Just unlucky in the playoffs. Hopefully, like in the last year, we get some luck finally. Morgan Geeky there had the most points. Look at the Cleveland Monsters, also get MVP. Fairchild there, most goals. Wagner or Wagner, however you say it, best rookie. Kolzig, best defenseman. Stewart, best goalie. Bankier with Belleville, actually, won MVP of the playoffs. Thornton, sportsmanship. Tromiak, community involvement, and win their lowest goals against. Most of those guys, I think, were creative players, because I didn't recognize a bunch of those names. And next year, guys, we're looking at retired players. Okay, so I was just worried McDavid or Draisaitl might have randomly been there, but they're not. Johnny Gaudreau actually retires, and he stayed with Columbus for the rest of his career. Pretty crazy. Kucherov there also calls it quits. 30 years old. Was still an 86. Was still putting up over a point per game, so he retires on top. Zibanejad, Huberdeau tied there in points. You can see Huberdeau stayed with the Rangers. Huberdeau stayed with the Flames. Scheifele actually went to Colorado, or at least their AHL team. Mark Stone was on the Islanders. Tarasenko there at the Blue Jackets AHL team. JT Miller, Philip Forsberg. I mean, a lot of very good players retiring here. I actually am curious to see if any of our defensemen retired. Because there's so many players retiring, I might actually have to do it by team here. And no, we actually had no retired players. So, Brodin, Riley, even though their contracts are expiring, they want to come back. So, really going to depend on the price. Goaltenders here, Linus Ullmark returns to Buffalo to retire. John Gibson, Jordan Binnington there, Jack Campbell. All right, guys, we're at the draft now. We'll take a look at the class. Obviously, it's our last draft, so probably no one we draft here is going to help with the team much. You got a gem there going number 2 overall. Looks to be standard 5 medium elites at the top. Only 2 gems, though. Guaranteed medium top 4, though, 1 in 16. Brandon Lang, that is a great find by our scouts. You also got this London Knights goalie who could be high elite. He'll be going sometime in the 3rd round. That's also another nice find. And a guaranteed medium starter goalie, 200. That's like a 7th round pick. Even with NHLHA 5 years, it's still great value. And after picking some prospects, I realized we don't need 2 2nd round picks. Going to try and trade one of the Penguins here for a 4th and a 5th. We really should get a lot more value pick-wise for a 2nd. I'm not sure why. It seems like late picks have way too much value in regards to like earlier picks, but whatever. We'll see if they say yes here. And they do. So we now have an extra 4th. We got the 5th there. Should really get everybody we want. And so I just into our first pick here, guys. End of the 2nd round. We'll take a look here at the first. Yeah, you got 5 medium elites there going to the top. Most of them, you know, high 70s, low 80s. Just curious here if any other medium elites went in the rest of the first round, but looks to be mostly medium top 6 forwards, medium top 4 defensemen. So with our pick here, 59, I mean, we honestly could trade back even more. The next highest rated pin we have is Bannister, the goalie that could be high elite. So right here, guys, I'm going to try trading the Devils, our 2nd, plus the rights to Brodin for a 3rd and a 7th. Brodin's down to an 80. Lost a bit of the speed. Shot blocking, stick checking are way down, although the D awareness is still good. You can see the puck skills are also pretty low, same with physicals. So even with all the X factors, I don't see us bringing them back. They say no to that, which I thought honestly was a pretty fair deal. This Ninamaki guy here isn't really that great. Let's see if we can throw him in and then maybe also get back like a 6th round pick or something. They said close to fair value. How about we just throw him in? You give us a 6th with a 3rd. There we go. Okay, so just, you know, moving around here. Again, if we don't have a pick guy we need at the certain pick, might as well drop back. So 67 here, we're going to take the goalie. Hopefully he is good. Sam Bannister, come on. And 59 overall high elite. Wow. He had like the smallest amount of chance of being a high elite goalie, and he is. Early 3rd round. Pick 3, round 3. What an absolute steal. Our next pick here, guys, is actually the first pick in the 4th round. Looking at our pins, next to go is going to be Lang, who's guaranteed medium top 4. We want to make sure we don't miss on him. Only 50 overall, but still, medium top 4 is great value. And we actually have another pick here, guys, in the 4th round. We're actually going to be picking a little bit early here. Tristan Fratton, but whatever. Probably medium top 6. And he is medium top 6. Really low rated there, though, at 47 overall. We now have another pick, I think, in the 4th round. Can probably trade out of this spot at this point. Our only other pin left is a goalie 200. See, the Ducks won our 4th and 5th this year for next year's picks. That way, they say yes. We just have those picks to use at the deadline or, you know, this summer to make trades. Still have Devils 6th round pick there to get our goalie. And here we go, guys. Last pick in the draft, Jack Frazee there. 50 overall medium starter. I should show you, too, what the value is for that high elite goalie we got. Again, early 3rd round. What a steal. And look at that. He's got more value than any other goalie on the team now. And so another re-sign phase here, guys. Almost $30 million in cap space. Thing is, we actually have a lot of players to re-sign this summer. Robert Thomas there, I'd really like to bring back. He wants $13 million, though. Oh, my. That's a lot of money. As much as I like to bring him back, that's just too much money. I'm sure we can find, you know, a high 80 guy for a bit cheaper. I mean, Foodie here, 86. He wants 6.6. It's gone down a little bit, but still quite expensive. Broberg I like to keep because he's been on the team for so long. 6.2 million, though, is quite a lot for him. So I'll probably just wait and, you know, play it by ear. Morgan Riley still produces offensively, but $7 million cannot justify the price. Mikhail gave us a deal last year. 2.5 is still quite cheap. I'm just going to hold off on him. This boys guy, though, is down 81. Was playing in the OHL. Definitely going to sign him. He'll be somewhere in the bottom 6 this season. And, of course, in regards to the goalies, I'd love to keep Carter Hart. He's won 3 Vezins with us, but he wants $10 million, which, I don't know. Like, we haven't had as much playoff success as you'd expect. When you have a Vezina-winning goalie, your top line is the best in the NHL. Like, it's sort of like Tampa. But, yeah, we're still an early playoff exit, aside from the 1 year where we did win the Cup. Like, I don't quite understand it. We could go Oren Sanders as the duo. I'm not really sure if it's worth it. I'll just qualify Sanders for now. Oh man, like we have a lot of money. I don't know where it makes sense to spend it. And look at Santa Plica's stats last year, guys. He had 50 points, finally showed why, you know, he's a solid offensive defenseman. Riley here, 37. He had 49, about the same amount of time on ice. I feel like, you know, you want $7 million bucks, we can pass on him, find some more just, you know, solid defensive guys to play on the bottom pair. Could now put Broberg with Santa Plica, though, on the second pair, 285s. That's not terrible. 6.2 for 5 years. 1 year, you want $6 million. Let's see if he'll come back 1 year, say like 5.5. I think he'd be okay with that. And as I mentioned before, guys, I'd like to bring Thomas back, but I think we'll wait till free agency, just kind of see who else is cheap. Broberg there wants more money. Wasn't content with the amount of minutes he played as well. All right. The rest of these guys are just AHL players. So we'll try getting him the 5 years he wants at 5.75. Still says no. Okay. Might have to get 3 new defensemen in free agency this year and potentially a new starting goalie as well, like Carter Hart, 10.5. I don't know. I mean, I'll offer him, I don't think he says yes, but I'll offer him like 8.75 for 1 year. That's about the max I'd be willing to pay him. And yeah, no, he rejects the offer, wants to go to free agency. He's won 3 Vezinas. He wants to get paid. I don't really want to pay a starting goalie that much money. So unfortunately, we're going to lose Carter Hart. Broberg, we might lose. Again, could, re-sign him in free agency. Same goes for Thomas, even Foodie, Mikhaev as well. But really, none of these guys, at the prices they're asking, makes sense to sign right now. None of them are giving us deals in my mind, probably because we've had, no playoff success. So I feel like, that's fair. All right, guys, we're looking at free agency now. See who's available. Oh, my. Cole Caulfield, $15 million. That'd be kind of sick. Also, Cole Eiserman there. The 2 Coles, okay. I'll sort by rating. Mikko Rantanen, 93 overall, only wants $13 million. I mean, the absolute superstar. Could put him on the first line with McDavid and Draisaitl. Have Misa run the second line with Yamamoto and Evangelista. I mean, he's such a good player. Nice on offensive awareness. He had a point per game last year. Imagine him with McDavid and Draisaitl. I'm really feeling that one. Dylan Gunther's also a UFA, of course. We're looking at him. He wants $15 million, though. Drysdale's available. We could go after him. Again, Thomas there wants 13. Logan Cooley, I mentioned, trying to trade for. He wants 9. Have a lot of options here for sure. I guess first things first, we got to look at goalies, how much that's going to cost us. So Hart wants 10. Swayman there wants 10. This 86 RFA only wants 2.7. Brad Mayer, second round pick by the Coyotes back in 2025. 69 poise. Isn't the best, really. There's no other cheap goalies available that are actually kind of high rated. But I'm actually looking at Michael Herabal here. Last year, he was on the Calgary Flames. Not a great record, 10-9, but he had a 9.23 save percentage, 2.57 goals against. Those are good stats. High star potential, 1 year left to grow. He's got 80 poise. I mean, he doesn't look that bad. 2.5 million. I think, he's an option for us potentially. That's good value. As again, I really don't want to pay any of these guys at the top, $9 million plus, when we literally saw Montreal in the Cup last year with Samuel Montembeault as their starting goalie. I should actually go and check right now if he's still their starter. And look at this, guys. The Canadians got Zarenko here as their starter. He went 15-1-2 in the playoffs for them, 9.28, 2.31 as an 82 overall, 7th round pick by the Blues 2019. So yeah, we are not wasting $10 million here on one of those elite goalies. As I mentioned, look at their stats. I like Herabal. Plus, he's got 1 year left to grow, so he could be 84, maybe even 85 after the summer. 2 years, he actually gets even cheaper. 3 years, $2 million. Okay, let's try 2 years. Although I don't want to lose him. I'm just wondering, if we pay him so much more for 2. You know what? Let's just try 3 years at 2.5. See what he says. I would still probably outpay someone offering him a 1 year deal. And that leaves us with, obviously, $27 million here. We can go out and get Rantanen. We could even get Drysdale as well if we wanted to. Let's see. Last year he had 59 points, playing 25 minutes. Good D awareness, 98 offense awareness. I mean, for $12 million, why not get a 90 when you're going to have to pay $10 million for an 88 Jaracek, $6 million for the 85 Broberg? Might as well go for Drysdale. We'll offer $12 million here for 7 years. See what he says. And then in regards to the forwards, we're going after Rantanen. We're all from $13 million there on a 1 year. And I just checked away defenseman, guys. This Alvestad guy, 1967 medium top 4, second round pick by the Flames. How are they not re-signing him? I don't understand it. Luckily, he's the only one like that. Buzik here, 25.78. We actually could use another AHL defenseman, so I don't mind getting him signed. And then looking at forwards here, you got Burnett, medium top 6. Obviously, we'll give him a contract. And I feel like the rest of our AHL forwards are probably good enough. Don't have to make an offer on any of these other guys. But waiting to hear back from Rantanen and Drysdale. If they say yes, I mean, our team's going to be absolutely unreal. Burnett there says yes, one of the prospects. Same with Alvestad. Come on. Third and fourth for 2/3 medium starter. I don't know why we dropped back. And Kivy, the prospect goalie. There we go. Michael Herabal said yes, so we got our starter for next season. Buzik there, another AHL defenseman. Come on, Rantanen, Drysdale. Drysdale goes with the Sharks, the team that knocked us out. Are you kidding me? So they're going to be even better next year. Rantanen, though, said yes. Okay, so yeah, that top line's going to be nasty. Obviously, the thing is, I know I just realized, do we really want to break up that first line when they all had 100-plus points this year? The thing is, I think Rantanen's too good to give up, and the fact, we got him, same price as Robert Thomas, and he's 3 overall higher. It was kind of one we had to do. And we still have $60 million in cap space, so we could still sign Thomas. He wants $11 million. We have $5 million left after that to kind of get a defenseman. Broberg there wants 6.3. And we basically just have to find really cheap guys after that for the bottom pair. All right, guys, we can still use one more forward. I see Robert Thomas is down to $11 million on a 4-year deal. 1 year deal doesn't really change. Let's try getting him the 4 years he wants at 10 mil. If he says yes to that, then that's awesome. Now, if he says no, I'm actually going to have a backup option, but I'm going to make the offer right now. That way we kind of have it out there. Matthew Maggio, he's actually captain of the Spits. Kind of funny, but I met him a few days ago. We were both getting our haircut, same place, same time. 4 years, $6 million. We'll offer him 4 years, like 5.75. He actually got a lot of growth in this sim, now 87 overall. You can see they're amazing skater, 99 speed and excel, so wouldn't mind having him on the team. Obviously, got to wait and hear back from both those guys. They'll make a move on the defense. I'm thinking defensively, might have to make trade just because most free agent defensemen ask for way too much money based on how good they are. So we'll see in the next few days here, guys. I'm on the edge of my seat. Come on. Let's see what they say to us. Bjornfoot there, 5.6 million. That's a lot of money. Robert Thomas said, yes, extremely happy to accept your offer. Go-to man on the team, 10 million bucks. Maggio rejects our offer, decides to go with the Columbus Blue Jackets instead. I mean, he said he's looking for more of a playoff contender after we made the playoffs the last 9 years straight, but it is what it is. We still have $7 million there in cap space. Now we definitely need defense. Let's see here. Who can we go after? Broberg is still available. One team interested, 6.3. We've got 6.9 to spend. It's going to be tough to get him under that salary cap. Let's try 1 year at like 5.5, see what he says. Look at this, guys. Broberg rejects our offer, decides to go with the Carolina Hurricanes. He said based on the quality of our roster, he wouldn't get enough playing time, and he was playing third pairing last season. Just another Edmonton Oilers to go to Carolina, I guess. So, like I said, I think for defense, we have to make some trades now. Luckily, we have some cap space, and I saw some guys out there. But we got to bring in at least 2, maybe 3 more NHL defensemen. And so next year, guys, I'm trying to get defensemen for our bottom pair. Godfrey here on the Leafs, 80 overall, 89 D awareness, 90 shot block and stick check. Kind of the perfect player we're looking for. Cheap contract, 1.3. Offering up McCardle here, prospect, 1956, medium top 6. Not bad, but we've got a lot of guys like that, and obviously not going to help us on a Stanley Cup run in the final season. We'll see what the Leafs say. Trades accepted, 1 for 1, nice. And now next year, guys, I'm trying to solidify our defense. We still need another top 4 defenseman. I'm looking at Noah Dobson here on the Islanders. 3 years left at 6.8 million on the block. 87 overall, 40 points last year. Pretty good all-around defenseman. And I'm offering up Matacek here, who's a 19-year-old, 60 overall, medium elite prospect. If we're in the final year of the series, I definitely want to do this trade. Like I said, we got to help this defense out. Looks to be pretty equal value. They want the prospect Dobson on the block. Trades rejected. The value on the table is too far off. Luckily, we have a lot of other prospects. Could trade picks too, but I'd rather save those picks for like the trade deadline when the cap, is a lot harder to work. So Burnett here is only a 59 at 21 years old. Could probably move on from him. Feel like that should get the trade to go through. There we go. And next year, guys, I'm trying to make a trade at the Tampa Bay Lightning to get this Henry defenseman. 19 years old, already 80 overall, so I feel like he'll definitely grow during the summer. Bouncer, quick pick, X factors, 4-star physical, defensive awareness. There's 85. He's got 90 shot block, 88 stick check. Offering up Wallen here. He's our medium elite goalie prospect, 4th round pick last year. Value's pretty equal. They want Wallen. We'll see what they say. Trades rejected. Again, we have a ton of prospects we can add to this trade because they're never going to really help us out after this final year. Halpern here, 52 overall at 19 years old. We can throw him on. Trades accepted. Okay, so the defense should be in a good spot. I like the fact that even though we got some lower rated guys, they're all young and hoping they can grow during the summer in Henry and Godfrey. Now, next year, guys, making a small trade with the Canadians, offering up Altschaller, basically AHL defenseman, 26.76. Howard there ended up being a bust. 27 years old, has a couple X factors, so he still has some value. And yeah, they get us a 3rd round pick, which is kind of nasty. So obviously, have a lot of picks to work with come the trade deadline. The team's looking good, but as you can see here, Nugent Hopkins is actually a free agent again. 77 overall, still hasn't retired. 4.3 million. I'd love to bring him back, have one more ride with him in this final year, but the price has to come down. So I'm hoping no one signs him until like September comes, and then I can kind of work the roster spots a bit to give us at least like 2.5, and hopefully that's around what he'll be asking for. If not, obviously it's not going to work. But then on top of him too, actually, I saw Mason Marchment's available, 81 overall, really good stats, like 80-90 awareness there, 90 hand-eye, he's got decent physical. I feel like on the 4th line, he could definitely help with this team. If he doesn't, we'll just obviously play him in the AHL somewhere, but worth the, chance for sure. And now look at this, guys. Even at 75 overall, the Red Wings still signed Nuge to a $4.5 million deal. I don't get it. 38 years old, but whatever. Luckily, we actually don't need him. So I'll show you guys what the team is looking like for next season. Very, very stacked. Hopefully, we win our 2nd Stanley Cup here in the final year. So the first line right now, I've got Draisaitl, McDavid, Rantanen. As you can see, Draisaitl is actually down to 91. Second line there, Robert Thomas, Misa, Evangelista get a +5. Now, we could put Rantanen on the second line. If we do that, we lose a bit of chemistry. So let me know what you guys think. I feel like for the chemistry purposes, just put Rantanen on the top line. I don't see the top line performing worse with Rantanen than Misa. It should be about the same. Third line there looking stacked. Holloway now an 87. Play with Koppinen's up to an 85. Yamamoto there also 87. Koppinen, 98 passing. Pretty much perfect puck skills, honestly. 89 offensive awareness, 90 defensive awareness. So really good. Both sides of the puck. Great endurance. Decent shot. Should be a great player there. 4th line, you got Cates, Boyce, who was in junior last year. I mean, look at his puck skills as well. 97s, 5-star physical, 94 shot block and stick check. Of course, Voros here, amazing defensive stats, 5 stars. 5-star physical as well, not bad passer. So, I mean, the forward group looks outstanding. Defensively here, Evanston Sanderson's our top pair still. We got Dobson playing with Santa Pelika now in the second pair, and then Godfrey Henry on the bottom pair. Neither of these guys actually grew in the summer. I was hoping they would. Luckily, though, like, they have stats where you need them, which is just defensive stats and decent physicals. So, they should be okay as a pretty cheap bomb D pair. Herballer started here, actually went up by 1, now at 84, or they're backing him up 82. AHL-wise, we got Sanders starting here as a 79, Daigle there backing him up. In terms of the forwards, that first line hasn't changed. Second line there, Manning, Svechkov, Coleman. The third line is actually where Marchment is. Of course, we didn't need him as more of an insurance option. Playing with Elliott and Gordon, getting a +1. Fourth line there, doesn't look too bad. Defensively here, not a bad top 4. We still get -2 on the bottom pair. I don't really know like what's going on there. But the NHL team on the regular season last year with -3 on the bottom pairing, so I feel like they'll be okay. Next year, guys, I'll just show you the ratings for next season. Again, the team's pretty good. I think at this point, we're really just hoping for some playoff luck. I don't know if you guys have any, suggestions to make that happen. Let me know. But we've got 100 offense, 94 defense, and 85 goaltending heading into next season. Hopefully that's enough to win a Stanley Cup. Obviously, you guys will have to wait and find out. But if you guys enjoy this one, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.